Welcome to part two of the Christmas light special I have going on here, showing how I'm putting up different Christmas lights. In this episode, I'm going to be telling you about how to put up a 12-foot LED light show tree. So this is one I just bought from a store, and so I just kind of show you how I set it up. It's a pretty cool light show tree. I actually damaged it in the process, so that's pretty funny, so I'll get to show you that. And then the other thing I'm going to show you is an easy way to hang lights in a tall tree without having to really use much of a ladder. The one thing I always dread each year when I'm doing Christmas lights is hanging the lights up in some of my tall trees I have here in my backyard. And I'm always up and down the ladder. It's just a pain. And so I've actually implemented a really easy way to hang the Christmas lights that saved me probably half the time and just half the headache. And so I hope you guys enjoy this. So let's get out of the weeds. So now the next thing to put up is a 12-foot multicolored LED animated Christmas tree. And so we got this actually last year. Was our first year we put it up. And so we'll see how easy it is to put up this year. It was pretty difficult to do straight from the box. Definitely a few hour project to get everything put together. And so I'll kind of walk you through how to do this. And it's by Wintergreen Lighting. You can So now here it is all put together. So you can see it's pretty tall. And so what's going to happen is I got all these zip tied from last year, but what I'll do is when I sit this thing up, I'm going to stake it down to the ground. And then there's little hooks that go on the end of each of those little ropes, and they stick in here, making the tree all the way around the circle. And so, but the thing is, since this thing's so tall, we get a ton of wind here in Indiana. So you have to make sure that you got this thing staked down really well. It comes with little tiny metal stakes, but I actually use some rope and do more stakes just to be extra sure, just because this is a big thing. And we get a lot of wind here, so definitely don't want that thing falling over.
So once the tree is up and staked to the ground, I then begin to cut free each individual line, attaching it by a hook to the base. The thing I made a mistake though with is I was using a knife to cut free the zip ties, and as you can see here, I cut the zip tie along with a line that goes to the tree.
Quick word of advice. If you're going to be cutting zip ties, actually use some clippers. Yesterday, you can see in the video, I was using a knife and I cut one of the lines up there of the Christmas lights. So I hit it in the back, so I don't think you're actually going to be able to see it just because there's so many. But you can see my gap right back here in between this one and this one. There's a gap. It's hard to see, so I don't think you're going to even notice it, but I cut the line yesterday, which wasn't good. And so other than that, that's how you do it. It's very time consuming and takes a little bit, but it looks nice once it's done. All right, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is putting lights on these here. And so I have all the lights just laid out here, and so I'm going to count them to make sure I get an even amount on each one, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so this little light hanger I made here, you start with this here. So this is just a paint roller frame. Just make sure it doesn't have the metal roller frame on it, or else it's a really pain to try to break and get off. So you can just buy them just like this. And so all you want to do is bend it right here all the way down. And so that's what I did with this one. And then I just attached it to an extender, So they already have the threads and stuff just to thread onto these extenders here. And so now I can extend it and I can reach up high to put up lights on a tree. And so far I've been doing it. It takes a little bit of getting used to if you haven't done it before. So now I've done like 3 trees and I'm a lot more comfortable with it. So it's going a lot faster than what it normally is with me taking a ladder, climbing to the top, and just kind of slowly going back and forth on the tree. I'm able to just stay on the ground and just kind of keep it moving around the tree. So the first thing you want to do whenever you're going to be hanging lights up on a tree is make sure you're starting with the female end. The female end is the one where there's nothing sticking out. So what you want to do is the actual part you're going to plug in to the outlet or to the extension cord, you want that on the bottom. So make sure you have this end on the top. And so what you do is you actually want to take like 1.5 feet, 2 feet of this, hook it on, and then you want to wrap it around a couple times. So what this is going to do, so just twist it around the wire itself a few times. So what this is going to do is it just gives me a little loop here. So whenever I attach it to the top of the tree, I can just quickly, when I get it attached, pull this out and this part all stays up there, and then I can just start wrapping it around. If you don't do that and you just have this up here, what's going to happen is when you get up to the tree, you're going to pull this down with it, or it's going to slide off. And so that's why you go and take it about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and then just wrap it around 2 or 3 times. And that way it stays together and you have just a nice little loop to get started at the top of the tree.